them out
twice a week,
and more if we can. You know.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, I like the thought of doing them Tuesdays and Fridays. It's kind of a nice even, but whatever works. However it's convenient is fine. It's all good.
It looks like we're live already.
Are we live?
Are we? Yeah.
He may be playing the intro. Are we live? If we're live, I look good.
Adrian, are we live?
Adrian, if we're live, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
What the fuck is going on?
I think he's doing the intro right now. I hope he's doing the intro or
well, we want to see it and hear it. Come on,
yeah.
Adrian.
Adrian, are we live? Get going. Okay, we're live. Hey guys. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Did we hear music? Did we get any of that in there? I missed all that.
Yeah, that didn't come through on our end, but welcome to the show.
Adrian, can you pop on really quick? Adrian Alvarado is our
what's
co-host.
What's up, man? Did the intro play?
I played the intro. It was on.
We didn't hear it on our side.
We didn't hear it. Can we hear it now? Can we hear a little bit of music now while we have you?
Yeah, baby.
Thank you, Adrian Alvarado, our
Hollywood Tales
producer, engineer, actor extraordinaire. This is episode 4 of Hollywood Tales. My name is Ahmed. Up top, we have Eric Mills. And we have a very special guest today, Eric Mills' father, Jed Mills, who's a very well-known, critically acclaimed character actor. We're going to bring him on in a few.
Hey, Jessa.
Hey, Jessa. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, we're live. Please, throw them up. Adrian will filter them out. And
hi, honey.
Hey, chicken.
Hi, chicken.
So this is episode 4. Today is Friday, August 28th. It's about 5:10 p.m. here in Los Angeles. Eric, you're broadcasting out of Philly. And Adrian, you're New York City.
Yes, sir.
Right? So we started a podcast a few months back. As you all know, we did a couple episodes with Bassem Youssef and Victor Ortiz, very famous boxer and Middle Eastern comedian. You can watch those on YouTube at Hollywood Tales Live. Please check those out. Subscribe, click, share. We are just building our library of content. So thank you all for tuning in. And hey, let's get started. Episode 4, Hollywood Tales. I think this episode we're going to talk about Hollywood parties. Is that right?
I think that's what Adrian came up with. That he was like, let's do parties. I'm like, okay, let's do parties. It sounds like fun.
I mean,
now, do you want to bring your dad in for this, or do you want to bring him in after the Hollywood party?
We could bring him in now, or we could do a party each and then bring him in. It's your call, man. I mean, he's my dad. I've had him for 53 years. Fuck, he's all yours now, bro. Knock yourself out.
let's each tell a Hollywood Tales, funny party story, and then we'll bring in your dad, Jed, and we'll carry on.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
I think I'm gonna go last on this one because I wasn't really prepared with the party story, so I need to go back in my Rolodex of crazy Hollywood parties that I went to, and I think I have one. I think I have one in my back pocket. But why don't you guys? Why don't you go first, Adrian?
Go, Adrian. Hit it.
Well, I had a weird when I first moved to LA. I wanted to do anything that was different, right? And I became a driver, like a private driver for this gentleman who used to run a media company. And then he linked me up with Joe Francis.
No
Joe Francis, Girls Gone Wild?
Girls Gone Wild. And
by the way, side story, I've been to his house in Mexico. He's got this pimp house, and I'll tell you that story later, but go ahead.
I was only the one in the, what is it, Pacific Palisades or something like that. So I drove him 2 times. And then the first time I drove him, we went to the Playboy Mansion, right? It was Halloween, and the guy that I drove for was his client. And he goes, hey, this guy's looking for a driver, whatever. They called him Robin Hood. Anyway, So we go to the Playboy Mansion. I drive him there. It's Halloween, and we check in. And the first guy there, all the cars are getting searched and whatever. And it was Bill Maher checking in front of us. And then I come in, they check us in, and then I drive around. I drop them off, and he goes to me, "Hey, Adrian, park the car. Have a good time." And as a good diligent driver, I kept driving. It's a terrible story.
That's an awful story, bro.
Where's the climax?
It's one of my only regrets.
This isn't a show about regrets. It's a show about good Hollywood parties.
I would have walked into that Playboy Mansion. I don't know what would have happened to me.
I do.
It was a life decision. I'm like, if I walk into this place, I don't know if I'll ever walk out. So yeah, it's a regretful Hollywood story, but it's one of those parties that I didn't get to attend.
Man, oh man. Well, sorry you didn't attend it. Yeah. Sorry you didn't attend it.
There was a nurse on the way out saying, "Hey, help me! Are you okay, big boy?" I'm like,
yeah, you should have. Yeah. Hey,
look,
yeah.
It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. That's
Live and learn. The thing,
Eric, you've been to the Playboy Mansion several times.
I have, yeah.
And you, if I can disclose this, you've dated Playmates.
I have, yeah. I was in a very serious relationship with one who is one of my very serious loves in my life. She was great years ago. She's awesome. I love her.
Can we ask which one?
Rebecca Armstrong, September '86. Yeah.
Was she cover?
She's a Playmate. She's a centerfold Playboy Playmate. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then and I also dated a Playmate named Laura Richmond, who was actually the cover of. There was a cover where it was the Playmate on top, and then the bottom was drawn, and it was Jessica Rabbit. So she was the Jessica Rabbit cover, redhead, beautiful, very cool. She was awesome, but dated for a few months. Anyway, but yes, I did. I have been to the Playboy Mansion a number of times.
Your wife just commented, "We want Jed."
You guys should tell this story another time. I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's that? What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
You're on double screen now.
What's happening? Whoa. Wow. That's better. Anyway, so quick recap on Playboy Mansion stories. I went with Rebecca. We went to the Midsummer Night Party, which is one of the biggest parties. They have two big parties, or they used to, a year. They had the Midsummer Night Party, and they had the New Year's Eve party. And when you get the invitation to the Midsummer Night Party, it says attire, sleepwear, of course. So everybody's wearing sleepwear. And I actually went to the party, Adrian. I got actually out there. But the cool thing was I pulled up in the car, and the kid that was hired as like one of the parking valets opened my door, and I knew him. He was a guy I knew in high school. And he went, "Eric?" And I was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm with her. I don't know." And we went to the party, and it was. I'll not go into
the details.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just gracefully pass over that one for this podcast. But private message me later. It was an awesome party. It was a rad party.
So describe the mansion. Like, what is it like?
So you walk into the mansion. So the mansion, you know how there's the circle. It's up in Holmby Hills, and there's the circle, the fountain, right? The mansion itself isn't very big. You walk in, and then there's the grand staircase off to your left, and it goes up to where half rooms are. And then there's the first floor here, and there's like the family room. We used to go and watch like movie night, like family night. And then the thing about the mansion is the grounds are insane. They're amazing. They're huge grounds, and there are all these different like bungalow houses that look like the mansion, only they're smaller. So that's
where all the Playmates live, right?
Well, no, the Playmates live. Excuse me. They live. It's almost like a dorm, for want of a better word. Not a dorm. It's like there are like rooms off to another side. That's like off limits. You cannot go in there. And I was lucky to have gotten up there the number of times that I did, because boyfriends and husbands are not allowed in the Playboy Mansion.
So would she sneak you up there?
No, I was able to go up a couple times, like for the main parties, like the New Year's Eve party. I was cool to go, and family night, movie night. They called it movie night. I saw Planes, Trains, and Automobiles there before it was released.
You want to hear a funny story? Peter Billingsley, who's my friend, he's the Ralphie from A Christmas Story. Remember that movie?
Sure.
He told me that Hugh Hefner would screen that movie at the mansion every Christmas.
I believe it.
And Peter would get invited up there. He's like 13, 14 years old, hanging out with playmates and shit.
Oh yeah, I totally believe it. They had movie night like once a week, every Wednesday, I think. So anyway, so we did that. But the grounds were amazing. So they had like the monkey cages where they had all these like spider monkeys, and like you could feed them, and they'd like come to the cage, and it was cool. And they had like the game room, which they had adjacent to the game room. They had the red room and the blue room, and the red room and the blue room were sort of an identical room. One was all red, one was all blue. Mirror on the ceiling, towels on the bed, on the fucking right next to the bed, lube right next to the bed, and that's what the red room and the blue room was sort of for.
Real quick, that's got to be a cool gig for like if you're a monkey and you have to sit in the cage and like do something, you know, like what, like they're like, oh, you have three options. You can go to the LA Zoo, we can ship you out to Africa,
or you go to Holmby Hills.
You can go to the Playboy Mansion.
Go to the Playboy Mansion.
You can't touch anybody, but you can just sit there and watch naked chicks all day. They're like, oh, I'm gonna take number 3. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
It's all good. So that's what the mansion's like. And when you go to these big parties like at the Playboy Mansion, what Hef did, they would have this tent over like the highest tree. So they had the trees tented with like lights throughout the trees, like a pavilion. It was like the party in The Hobbit. It was like these crazy fucking parties that were just the most beautiful thing you ever saw. The mansion was cool. I liked it. Hef was awesome.
I've been there twice. I didn't have the experience that you had, unfortunately. Mine was a little bit more G-rated.
Yeah.
Didn't get invited to the Midsummer Night's lingerie thing. I went there twice for like, I can't remember. There were like events, but it was like, you know, I wasn't like you weren't allowed in the house and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But I did see the grotto, the famous grotto.
Grotto, yeah. Workout room down there. That whole area. Yeah, the grotto was famous for like all the like the. It's really the red room and the blue room.
Very famous. It's very famous, everybody. I don't even know why it's so famous. But it's famous.
I don't. Yeah, I know why it's famous. It was cool. It was awesome.
Let's transition into your father, or should I tell my quick story?
Fuck that guy. Yeah, tell your story.
No, dude, this episode's about your father, but I'll tell a quick. Here's a quick Hollywood tale party story. So I came up with like Billingsley and Vince Vaughn and Cole Hauser and Rory Cochrane, and not to like drop names. Some of you know these guys, some of you don't, but these are the sort of Hollywood circle that I was running with, as you know, Eric, for a good 20 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, Vince was the first guy in our crew, Vince Vaughn, to make it. So he was like Vinny in Entourage. Like, you know, he popped. I was Turtle.
Right. Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
I cooked. I drove. You know, I didn't really have like aspirations.
You were totally Turtle.
I would say Billingsley. I would say Peter Billingsley was the Kevin Conley character, the short blonde manager, and Hauser was probably like the Kevin Dillon character. Although Hauser worked a lot as an actor, but and he still does. He's on Yellowstone, but he was the kind of like always
good on Yellowstone.
Yeah, I haven't watched the series, but I heard he's great.
Yeah, he's great.
I haven't talked to him in years. That's another Hollywood tale. I'll tell this episode about. We had a little bit of a falling out. It's too bad because I love the guy. I think he's so fucking talented. But we had a weird thing happen a few years back. And so we would all run around, and Vince, he was famous enough at the time to get invited to the Vanity Fair party, like, after the Oscars.
Yeah.
I can't remember what year it was, but he's like, hey, I got tickets to the Vanity Fair Oscar party. Who's coming with me? So he took like 7 of us, 7 guys that nobody knew, right?
It's just like Entourage.
But it's the worst because everyone's the door guys, everybody that's like checking your ID, they're just looking at us like, who the fuck are these? Like, why are we wasting space? So we roll in. Now, I was sober for about a year prior to that. And we walk in, and we line up at the bar, and everybody, bro, Steven Spielberg, Elton John, Tom Hanks, like from top to bottom, every major, like.
It's like that party where I almost punched Ben Affleck. It's like all A-list. It's like everybody's there. It's just crazy. It
was too much, I had just gotten back from my pilgrimage to Mecca, Saudi Arabia. I did a whole cleansing, right? So I was like, fuck Hollywood, and I'm stripped myself of it. Sure, I'll go to the Vanity Fair party, but I don't care who's who, and I didn't, right? But it was nice to kind of just be around it. And then at this time, this is what year it was. It was at the height of the Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton scandal. What year is that?
It has to be like 97.
Yeah, I would say 96.
Yeah.
So whenever the Oscars were that year, I went to that Vanity Fair party. So we all roll in. We're sitting at the bar. Celebrity. I'm not really fazed by anybody. I'm like, oh, this is fine.
95.
1995, was it?
95.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And the news around this thing was so huge that it was almost like it was surreal. And next thing I know, she comes walking into the party.
Monica Lewinsky?
Monica fucking Lewinsky, bro. Right past me. And I looked at her and I was like, like, I was like in a video game all of a sudden. I was literally not even a degree of separation away. Mm-hmm. I could have touched her shoulder or whatever. Anyway.
Thanks, honey. 95, 96. Thanks, honey. Anyway, and you are a supermodel. I love you. Go on. Sorry.
That's it. I was sober for a year. I just came back from this crazy religious spiritual pilgrimage. I was like, whatever, fuck Hollywood, and I'm just gonna do my thing. And Lewinsky walked in, and when they were ordering drinks, this was all simultaneously. They were ordering, I'll take a Heineken, I'll take a vodka soda, I'll take a whiskey. I said, I'll take a cranberry juice. And then when I saw Lewinsky, I go, I changed my mind. Make that a whiskey. And I started drinking after that. So the moral of the story is Monica Lewinsky drove me to drinking.
Knocked you right off the wagon, bro. So much for your cleansing in Mecca. Fucking cleansing in Mecca.
Hey,
Monica.
Cheers to you, Monica.
Cheers to Monica, bro.
I the hotel version.
Little airplane.
Well, let's do this. Let's play a little bit of music and then bring on Jed.
Yeah.
Eric,
okay.
you wanna maybe under some music, Adrian, if you can figure that out. Actually, just stay on here, Adrian. We like you. We like your
Adrian. Get back.
Come back here.
Put that hat, man. Come on. Bring
Come on,
it,
bro. Unless you're doing some shady shit.
I was working on some stuff. I don't want people to see me working.
No, that's cool. We just want to see you while you're here.
All right. Cool.
Can you just underlay some music, whatever we got from Omar? By the way, Omar Fadel, OmarFadel.com. He's an awesome music composer. He scored all the music for my documentary, Just Like Us, which is on YouTube. Just Like Us, the movie. Cross Cultural Productions. Maybe, Adrian, you can slap that on the ticker at some point. But any music that we're playing on this playlist tonight and today is from his library. So please check him out.
We're going to bring in Jed.
So we're bringing in my father, Jed Mills. He's been on stage and screen and TV for the last 50 years. He's done everything from Seinfeld to Casino to Beretta. He's a very talented guy. You're gonna love him. He's a pain in my ass, but I love him too. So without further ado, everybody, Jed Mills, Pop, I love you. Come on. There he is.
I'll be back.
Well, I just listened to some mate. Ahmed,
Yes, sir.
that was a short story, right? The longest fucking short story I ever heard in my life.
I know.
Adrian,
I'm sorry, man.
Adrian, you did
Adrian's
great.
off screen, but you can talk to him.
Oh, he's off screen. Okay, all right. You guys all great. I mean, you were killing me, Ahmed, with that story. Well, I don't know if I can name any names. I'm not going to be dropping any names here, but I've been to a couple of great parties in my life. I was in a group called War Babies for like 15 years, and we did a many performances in Santa Monica. After the show one night, backstage comes Penny Marshall and Carrie Fisher and Joan Hackett, right? So, of course, I was already in love with Carrie Fisher. So I tell my friend who she came to see, who I met that night, I want to meet her. So he says, well, she's having a party on Saturday. I'll ask you if you can come. So he asks her, and she says yes. So I'm at the party at Carrie's house on Saturday. It's about 2 or 3 days later, and I'm standing here with a drink in my hand. And Carrie comes over, grabs me, puts me down, and gives me the biggest kiss you ever. I don't know. It was like amazing. And as we're getting up, this picture was taken.
Wow.
Yes, there's the picture. That's the one.
Can you hold that closer?
Huh?
Wait a minute. Can you see that?
Get it
okay?
up there.
Can you hold it
Jed,
closer?
Yeah.
That's me behind her right now. Oh, there I am.
Jed, hold the picture up a little bit closer to the camera. Move it over to the side. Move it over the other way. The other way. Right there. Stop. Don't move. There we go.
There it is.
There it is. Pop and Carrie. There they are.
So we had just
There
come
it
up
is.
from the kiss.
Okay, perfect.
Which
Thanks,
is a
Pop.
long one.
Wow.
And I was in heaven, and that picture was snapped. That's why we're making those faces. What? You just took a picture of me? I'm going to keep that forever. So that was a pretty exciting party, and that was the beginning of my brief love affair, but long friendship with Carrie Fisher. And I actually went to England to coach her on the Return of the Jedis at EMI Studios, because she was a little nervous about the scene between her and finding out that, Skywalker was her brother. Okay, so that's that story. But we went many parties at Carrie's house all the time. I met Jack Nicholson. I became friends with Harrison Ford and all these people, wonderful people. And there was always and they were always in the daytime, by the way. And there was always wonderful people there. There was music and different kinds of food.
Jed.
Exciting. It was a highlight of my life for those couple of years.
Pop, remember
in the 80s.
Do you remember the party that we went to? It was Carrie and Penny's birthday party. I think I was 15. It was on.
It was at what's his name's house? Vidal.
It was at Vidal's house. That's right. It was.
What's his whole name?
And we were there. It had the big tree in the backyard, and Nicholson was there, and everybody was there. And I sat on the couch between Carrie and Debbie.
Debbie, yes.
Me and Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher, and I was 15, and we had maybe a 15-minute conversation, 10-minute conversation, very quick. But I was like, story. You're like, what?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Drop it.
Done,
no, I'm done.
Okay,
I'm done.
So,
that was an amazing. That was an amazing
really
party.
Hear the Debbie Reynolds story.
Yeah,
we really want to hear it, Bob.
So I had to have some outpatient surgery because I had hemorrhoids. So I went to the doctor. I had this little surgery, but what? You never heard of hemorrhoids?
No, I've had them.
You had them, yeah. I figured that. Figured you had, yes. When I was listening to that story you were telling about I knew you had hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
But are you better now?
Thank God.
Okay.
Thank God.
So I called Carrie up after the surgery, and I said, I just had butt surgery. She said, well, come on over. I'll take care of you. I go over to the house. It's the summertime. She said, well, it's really hot, Jed. Let me get you these short pants. So I put on the short pants, and I'm sitting there at the bar at her house. And she said, Jed, you're bleeding. There's blood coming down your leg. I said, oh, shit. No, I didn't say that. I may have said that. I don't know. She said, well, let me do something about that. So she goes crazy looking all over the house, can't find something, calls her mom up, Debbie, and says, Mom, got any Kotex there? Swear to God. She said that. Mom, you got any Kotex? She said, no, I don't have any. She says, could you go out and get some? So Debbie Reynolds runs to the store, buys Kotex, and 20 minutes later, the door opens, Debbie Reynolds pops in and says, where's that Kotex boy? And throws me
Yes.
So
wow, that's a great Hollywood tale.
Debbie Reynolds was great. I tried taking her home one night, driving her home, not for anything except she was busy at that party. Same party, Eric. She was
Same party, yeah.
Yeah, and I asked her, what's going on? She said, oh, I'm just so bored. And I said, why don't you go home? She said, I don't have my car. I said, I'll drive you home if you like. And I had no ulterior motives. I swear to God, I've none at all. And her son, Todd, comes over and says, no, I'll take her home. I think he was worried because I'm already with Carrie. He didn't want me to be with his mother as well, I guess.
Debbie was an animal.
Yeah.
Hey, Jed,
boyfriend, you guys have been dating such wonderful people. I mean, I dated Joe Pesci, Humphrey Bogart, Wallace Beery Jr. Well, I don't want to drop names, but
no, you know what? You drop them, I'll pick them up.
To date a lot of people, but you know, that's not the main meaning of my life.
How did you start as an actor, Jed? Where did you get your start?
Well, I went to a school in New York, New York University, West Side Actors. But what happened to me as an actor was improvisational theater techniques, Viola Spolin's technique. Before that, studying acting at New York University with Wallace, somebody or other, at the West Side Actors, method acting, I hated it. But when I started doing improvisation, it changed my life. Back in 1969, I studied after maybe a year of doing improv with companies. It's a long story, but I studied with Tamara Wilcox Smith after she got married for 9 months, every day, Monday to Friday, 5 days a week. And at the end of that period, the first performance we ever did, at the end of the show, she asked the audience if they would like to do some improvisation. We're going to teach a free workshop. And just come on Tuesday night and show up. You don't have to sign in or anything. That Tuesday, we went down to the green room, and Tamara says, "Who would like to teach the workshop?" And I raised my hand. The only one of the 8 of us that were there. That night, I showed up at the Tuesday night. Tamara wasn't there. 50 people showed up. I taught that show. I taught that workshop that night, and I've been teaching improvisation ever since.
If I may say, Jed is one of the has nothing to do with me being his son. Trust me on this. He's one of the best improv teachers I've ever worked with, and he's sort of, he has that. He's known. He's a wonderful improv teacher. So there you go, Pop. Yeah.
By the way, just quickly, I was interviewed for 2020, which will be on in October.
Who's hosting that these days?
Association with a real live serial killer.
Yeah, I spoke about that on one of our last episodes. How the dating game thing. You want to tell a quick the nickel tour of
I'm on a
Alcala?
dating game, and I'm bachelor number 2. Bachelor number 1 is a guy by the name of Rodney Alcala. And I didn't like him. He was a real creep. I wanted to punch him out in the green room, actually, but I didn't. I held back. But he was talking about girls, and he at one point he said, "I always get my girl," And who knew what he was talking about? But what he meant was he kills women. Okay, and he actually won, the date that night, which was okay with me because I really didn't want to go out with that gal anyhow. But she wouldn't go out with him either because he was too creepy. And since then, since the last 10 years, I've been interviewed on TV, movies, radio, newspapers about my associations with Rodney Gala.
That's
I wish they
crazy.
would talk about my career.
Speaking of your career, you worked with Martin Scorsese on Casino, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah, let's. I mean,
Awesome.
the big. Obviously, people love his movies. How was that experience?
Martin Scorsese, gentleman of gentlemen. I worked mostly with Joe Pesci. All of my scenes were with him mostly.
Jersey boy.
Say again?
Jersey boy.
Jersey boy, yeah. Yeah. Not the nicest guy in the world, a bit of a dick.
Jersey
Who,
boy.
Pesci? Pesci's a dick.
Jersey
right?
boy.
He's a dick.
Yeah, yeah.
Jersey
I mean,
boy.
If you're a Goomba or if you're connected, you know what connected means, right?
Yeah.
Your people, right? Then he's your friend or a star. But otherwise, hey, every morning when I would meet him in the morning, I would say, hey, morning, Joe, how you doing? And he would say, that's about the most intelligent conversation I got out of him. And every now he'd make a snide remark about somebody, you know, it wasn't my type. But wonderful actor, and The Irishman stole the movie.
He's the best thing in The
I
Irishman.
agree.
Hands
agree.
down,
Thing.
the best thing in The Irishman.
And I
Yeah,
wanna
he
tell you
did.
something.
Absolutely
I
hands
love
down.
Joe Pesci. So,
You're a wonderful
No,
actor.
yeah.
Hey,
Maybe
Adrian.
he was concentrating. Maybe he was concentrating the whole time. You know?
No,
Turn
he's
your,
just
turn your camera this way.
Oh, yes.
There we go. We can't see your pretty face. There you
Oh,
are.
how's
I want
that?
to see more of your pretty face, buddy. Come on.
So, what
Ah,
else?
I know.
I mean, I think just a lot of people are, who are interested in the world of acting. Your tale is is incredible. I mean, did you grab an agent right out of the gate? Did you have to work for that? How was that?
My first agent was a guy by the name of Joe Peck. He
Joe
was
Peck was
Italian.
awesome.
I think his name was Pecorini or something. He called him Joe Peck. And Joe Pantoliano and I were at his office, two not unknown actors, and we both signed within the same minute. We walked out arm in arm, Joe and I, saying, well, we have agents. Joe did pretty well.
You think?
Huh?
You think
I
he
think,
did okay?
Yeah.
Right.
So I was with Joe Peck for a while, and he got me my first audition for a film called "Is There Sex After Death?" It was a spoof on porno films. I didn't actually audition. I just met with the writer director. Hired me to play the Russian contestant in the 1970 Sex Olympics. I actually had to get naked.
And did you use a Russian accent?
I could do that, but I didn't have too much. I was plenty of time fucking. Not I was on top of a girl. She kept saying, "You can really fuck me if you want to." I said, "No, I don't want to fuck you. The camera's rolling. I don't do that."
Yeah.
But that was my first movie, and then I'm in War Babies. Like I said, did 15 years with them. Did 14, maybe about 4,000 shows with them.
Nationwide,
we sometimes
or in
work
New York?
7 days a week. Excuse me.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Nationwide or only in New York City?
We worked. We had a TV series on. Dick Clark brought us to L.A. to do a series with Frankie Avalon and Ned Funicello. It was a summer series. That brought me here with William Morris Agency. Things just happened to me. That first movie, Is There Sex After Death, was the SAG film. First meeting I ever had, I was in SAG.
Oh, wow.
I got lucky, It had nothing to do with my talent or lack thereof.
Thanks, Sketch.
So you can attest to when they say sometimes just luck is all you need, right?
Right place at the right time.
Right place at the right time.
Right. Right place, right time.
versa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right place at the right time.
Any questions for Jed? If you're all out there listening live, we're about 35 minutes in. Ahmed, Eric Mills, Adrian Alvarado, Jed Mills here, our guest on episode 4 of Hollywood Tales. This is Eric's father. He's a character actor.
Lucky me.
Now, I have a question, Jed. Now, when did you first move to Los Angeles? What brought you out there?
Dick Clark brought me and my improv company to LA to do that series with Frankie Avalon called Easy Does It. It was a musical comedy thing. We were all with the William Morris agency, and we started auditioning right away. My first TV show was with Beretta. I had a couple of lines on that. And
Was that your first? That was your very first TV show, Pop? That was the very first?
That was my first part on a series.
Or a series,
First
okay.
TV show was obviously Easy Does It was Frankie Avalon.
Right.
What's his name? Beretta. What's his name?
Robert Blake.
Robert Blake.
Yeah.
A bit of a dick, but he was on cocaine at the time. Seriously on cocaine. You know,
It's a hell of a drug.
hell of a drug. Yeah.
Hell of a drug.
Yeah. You happen to have any there? No?
Unfortunately, I'm in Philly.
Yeah, and I'm in Los Angeles. Where are you, Adrian?
I'm in Connecticut right now.
Connecticut. You're in where?
I'm in a hotel.
Right?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in LA
you're
like you.
Oh.
I'm down in Venice Beach.
Let's get together tonight and have a couple of brews. What do you say?
I'm in Venice Beach, brother. Come on down.
No,
Where-
I'm in North Hollywood. You rather come here?
I could.
The Valley?
Sure.
Oh, we'll do it.
And it begins. And they were never heard. They were never seen again. Jesus
We
Christ.
got a great pool here that's heated, so you know.
I'll come. I'll grab your number from Eric, and I'll come.
Okay.
I'll come check you out, brother.
That would be great. Will you
Yeah,
tell me some of your short stories?
How much time do you have? Listen. To my credit, I know that I take a long time to tell. That's why I haven't popped as a comic, because I took too
No,
long to talk about this.
I was just, I was just being serious.
You haven't popped.
By the way, that guy there with the baseball cap, he
That
is
guy?
a brilliant. Yes, that's the one. Brilliant actor.
Yeah,
He
I always.
be on screen.
Do you know how this podcast started originally?
how?
Did Eric tell you?
I didn't. I don't think I might have mentioned. I don't know.
So
Tell him.
long story short.
Yeah, sure. See that? Believe it when I see it or hear it.
When COVID hit, most comedians went to Zoom. We were doing these Zoom comedy calls. They sucked. But I did a couple of them, and I posted it on Facebook. And Eric, who I haven't talked to or seen in probably, 5-10 years, maybe?
10 years, maybe, yeah.
On Facebook, we see each other, but we haven't physically or seen each other spoken. So he logs on to this Zoom call, and I just start kind of talking to people on the call, not really doing any material. And I was like, oh, everybody, this is my friend Eric. I've known him almost 30 years. We worked at this restaurant called La Masia, and I give the backstory. And then Eric started talking, and then he told his story about meeting Axl Rose, or diving off stage with Axl Rose, or that whatever that great story is that he tells. And when the Zoom call finished, I was getting text messages from all of my friends who were on the call saying, who is that guy, Eric? He's so fascinating. He has a great voice. You guys should do a podcast and blah, blah, blah.
Were they all gay?
Yeah.
3 of them were.
What do you think?
No, I just thought I was doing a gay impression.
Hey, man.
They were women.
It's okay.
They were
I have no problem
women.
with that.
They were gay women, at least.
They were
I
women.
love the gays. I'm a big fan.
Well, we met at a gay
Like
restaurant.
peas and carrots.
We
We
waited
worked together.
tables.
That's where we met. We met at a gay restaurant.
My mentor was gay. I love
I'm drinking Michelob Ultra. Do I need to go any farther than that? Jesus Christ.
The friends that were messaging me
Ultra.
were women. Like 3 of my female. That's why I was trying to do my
So
female.
that's your
thing.
impression of a woman. I get it. Okay.
Right now it is.
I get lucky sometimes. What can I tell you?
I'm sorry.
And,
So go on, please.
That's it. I called Eric and I said, hey, a lot of people were like commenting on your voice and your mannerisms and your stories, and suggested you or us should do a podcast. So we talked about it. We banked 2 episodes, went through a transition with producer, engineer, and now we're back on episode 4, and here you are and Adrian, and that's how it started, really, off a Zoom call.
That's exactly how it started. It was actually really cool. That was awesome. That was a blast. You're like, dude, Eric, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in forever. I'm like, I just jumped in at the right time. It was very cool. That was
It
a
was
blast,
kind of,
man.
it was very like symbiotic, perfect
Yeah.
storm, whatever you want to call it. The universe was
It just worked out. It just
crystallizing. Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
place at the right time.
That's it.
Well, I'm glad you're doing this, Eric. You should be out there. And Ahmed, thank you for bringing my son and working with
Yeah,
him here.
of course.
Uh,
Thank you.
It was Adrian. I guess my time is getting shorter and shorter. I don't mean in life. But that's
Still got that
I'm
insurance
going
in place,
on for
right,
another
Bob? We're
25
still-
years, so don't worry about that.
We
Great meeting you, Adrian. You're terrific. And
Bless
that
him.
was one of the most boring stories I've ever heard, by the way. I got to tell you.
we'll work
We'll
on
talk.
it. Talk.
I
Bob, call him.
counsel in acting, you know.
I'll send you his number. Call him.
Give me a call.
You do like an improv class with you.
It's
Yeah,
funny because
you know, improvisation changes your life. If you're people who told me they could never do in the middle of an intensive that I'm teaching, they could never get on stage at the end of the intensive and do a performance, would continue the intensive and steal the show.
Yeah.
At the end, we would always do it, culminate with the show. So improvisation brings you out. It makes you listen. It makes you commit, be in the moment, and it's just the wonderful things it does. I was pretty shy in the beginning. I've lost that shyness.
Who inspired you?
Excuse me?
Who inspired you?
Peter Boyle.
Love him.
Actually brought me into my first improv situation ever.
Oh, wow. Oh, really? Wow.
That's a story.
Wow.
I'll tell you that if you want to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. I'm up in Lenox, Massachusetts with my girlfriend Nancy. We're sitting on the grass. We had just seen the movie Joe the day before in New York City. We motorcycled up to Lenox that night, and that afternoon and on a Saturday, we're sitting on the grass. It's the Lenox, Massachusetts Art and Music Fair. Who's walking towards us but Peter Boyle, who we just saw the day before in the movie Joe. He says, we're doing a audience participation show, improvisation show in that tent over there. And why don't you come over and join us? And he sits down and continues to look at my girlfriend and tell us about the show. So after about 10 minutes, the bell rings and he said, okay, they're going to start, let's go. We go into the tent, and a woman by the name of Janet Coleman is the director, and she's the host of the show. And she sees me walking in with Peter, and the show starts. The first person she picks on me, I could not improvise in acting school to save my life. I couldn't make a step and say a word. I couldn't do it. I would just shut down. The way Janet Coleman introduced it, I could do it. And she called on me about 8 times afterwards during the course of that show. At the end of the show, Nancy and I are standing outside the tent, and Janet and Peter and Alan Alder and Elaine May and Mike Nichols, they're all having a conversation over there, and they're looking at me. And she's pointing. They all come over to me and they say, would you like to join our improv company? You're terrific, in New York City, called the Loft Players.
That's a cool name.
Loft Players.
And that moment started my life in improvisation.
Now, when you say her introduction, when she introduced you, sorry, I'm just going back to when you would come out on stage. She would say, "Please welcome."
She would call on me, and she would drag me onto the stage. Reluctantly. I know I can't do this, but what she said and how she said it and her directions. Okay,
isn't that something?
David Steinberg was a pretty well-known actor, comedian at the time. She had me do something with him. What she had me do with him was, he's going to be making you laugh. Don't laugh. So I stood there with it, and I did it. I didn't laugh. And she was impressed. That's
commitment.
By the fact that I was able to not laugh at what he was doing for about 2 minutes. And then from that moment on, she brought me on stage and had me do other things. And whatever she told me to do and how she explained it, it was a long time ago, obviously. It was 1969. I was able to do it. And I did it comfortably. I did it without being self-conscious because of the way she explained it. And that's how I teach, based on her. We're still friends, by the way, Janet Coleman. When I'm in New York sometimes, and she does a radio show, and I fill in doing a character or so for her. Now it's a little different. It's with this going on now. She does it from home.
So what are you doing right now? Like, how are you staying busy? Are you maintaining virtual
I do a lot of projects
stuff?
at home. I also have partners in a company called Bolt420.com. It's medical marijuana.
Love it. Adrian, can we put that up there?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
BOLDT 420.com. And it's
Bolt. Sorry, I want to get that.
like
Humboldt.
Humboldt.
Got it.
And it's medical marijuana, and we deliver. We don't have a place to go to, So if you go to that website and you order something, one of the dispatchers will bring it there to you.
Nice. How long is the turnaround from order to delivery?
From order, well, we deliver as fast as we can. Definitely within an hour, 2 hours.
Oh wow.
3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And we're the lowest prices in town. We like to sell it by the ounce, but we can work with you if somebody
You ever heard of these guys?
Was that rolling papers? What was that?
Joint.
No, they're actual like joints, Pop. I think.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medical?
Is it
What's
what?
that?
Is it medical?
I don't know, but
It
it's
doesn't
good.
matter. We're fully licensed in California. Our license will never expire. We have we're brand new. We'll be growing and growing and growing and doing more and more.
Nice.
I have a question. I haven't been in California in other than for a minute to pick up the bike and then come back. Is medical marijuana obviously is still legal? Is it recreational legal now in California?
Yes.
So it's just across the board. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need a night.
Yeah.
Well, just ID 21 and over.
Yeah,
By the
ID.
way,
You got to be. Yeah, you got to
by
be
the way,
21. But it's
You
like
have
that
to
in
be
Chicago.
21. You need a license. You have to show your ID.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah.
So, but recreation is legal. I wasn't sure. I don't smoke, so
Getting
real
off
quick.
that subject real quick. Can I say one more thing?
Real
Sure.
quick, you
Absolutely.
misspelled it. You misspelled it, Adrian.
Oh.
Did you hear me? Adrian, you misspelled the company name. It's BOLDT, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
BOLDT. Yes, Humboldt.
Yes.
420.com. Yeah. Sorry, Jed, you
There's
were
a
saying.
script being written right now, which I will be playing the lead if it happens and we raise the money. And my son, Eric, will be playing my son. It's bikers.
Nice.
I haven't told him about it now.
Huh? What?
There's a script being written right now
Okay.
that when it's finished, we're going to try to raise money to make this biker film.
Cool.
And my character is a guy who's been in the slammer for a long time. I'm the head of a biker gang. Okay, but when I come out, my son is actually taking over. So there's a lot of things going on between us that's not that great because I want my gang back. There'll also be a lot of other elements in it that I don't want to talk about. But it's
That sounds like a great premise.
Cool.
Can I audition?
Cool.
Can I audition for one of the bikers?
Fuck yeah. Audition.
Absolutely. You right? You
I
right?
He
used
will
to
by the
not-
time I get done with him.
Not Harleys, but I can learn very
You don't
fast.
have to have
I used
a
to
Harley.
ride. Yeah, I used to ride a Honda Hurricane back in the day.
A Honda what?
Hurricane.
It's a sport bike, Bob. It's like a race
It's a
bike.
crotch rocket. They're not really
Crotch
sport
rocket.
bikes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was young.
Yeah.
I had crotch rockets, man.
Did you?
I hate them.
I had a number of them.
Yeah, they're not good for your back.
Just that one.
What, Pop?
I thought you only had that one crotch rocket. You had others?
Yeah, I had a number of them.
Oh, kept that from me.
What?
You kept that from me.
No, you
didn't
saw
tell
them.
me.
You
Because
just
you know how much I hate them. I hate crotch rockets. I think they're dangerous for the riders because they become a rush they get, and they get addicted to that rush, and the fatality rate is much higher in crotch rockets than in cruisers.
Sorry, I got kicked out,
Is it?
guys.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
What's
that
happening?
either. Oh yeah, actually I did know that. Sport bikes are they're fast and they're yeah, they were fun when I was a kid.
Who said that?
Barley's first off, but I didn't, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But they were great.
Well,
Danny Armstrong. Hey, Pop. Danny Armstrong, Rebecca's brother, just said that you rule.
hey, Danny, how you doing, buddy?
A number of people are typing in. Sergio, love you, brother. Good to see you. Always a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. Chicken, me and Hillary. I love you, honey. I love you, Jimmy Singer.
She said something about you.
She said something about me. Yeah.
She would.
Osama MK. I don't know who that is, but what's up? And then somebody else, Brad Wolf. Anybody know who Brad Wolf is?
Is that the my neighbor down the street?
No, I don't think so. Brad Wolf had a question for us that I'll just go ahead and pass over. But it sounds like he was being a douche, but I could be wrong.
What was the question? What was the question?
It sounds like he was trying to be a douche, but I don't know why that would.
Read it. Let's hear it.
But it says, "What kind of beer do homosexuals like? You can ask each other for opinions." That's funny.
Well, I like.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's kind of funny. I understand why.
I'll give you.
Like he's trying to be like business off. Oh, you know why? Because I said that I'm big with the gays. I love the gays. That's why I said that. Maybe that's where it came.
Yeah, I didn't post that one.
Anyway, so
earlier.
Hey, everybody tuning in.
No, post
right.
them,
You
bro.
saw that, right?
Post them, good or bad. We got to see who's out there fucking talking the talk.
Talking smack.
Judy, Sketch. Hi, Sketch.
I'm sorry, Ahmed, did you say something to me or just in general?
Just in general. I was asking Adrian to if he could just please posting whatever questions come in.
Thank you for
good,
that. Both
good
sports28.com for all your medical marijuana needs. Fantastic.
There you go. Thanks, Adrian.
Yeah. And don't forget to watch the 2020 about the serial killers. I'm on that. It'll be
yes, and we could
this
actually
month in October rather.
When we'll do another one of these. Pop, if you're up for it, we'll have you back on. Maybe we're trying to log these at one or two, one at least once a week or twice a week, and we're going to start trying to get these with a little more regularity. But if we could have you on maybe once a month or something, have you come back as a
that'd be great.
A friend of the show. If it were, I'm sure I know you have a lot of stories. But it would be awesome to have you on the show again and maybe again. And maybe again.
Again and again and again.
Well, it was a pleasure. It's like having you guys at home with me right now. You're at my house. Yeah?
No. You guys are at my house. You guys are at my house. You want to go to the pool, Pop?
Say again, son?
Nothing. Moving on.
A plane just went overhead. That's why I couldn't hear you.
That's okay. It wasn't that funny anyway. What do you think, kids? Been an hour?
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're at 52 plus.
Yeah.
Why don't we any last comments, questions? Anybody from the audience tuning in live? You want to chime in? Otherwise, I think we leave them wanting more. And
yes,
Adrian?
Tony Masseri. So I'm sorry, Ahmed, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just saw this. I apologize, brother. Tony Masseri, my cousin Tony Maria. She says, yes, we want Jed back on.
Yes.
Tells it like it is, no filter. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Tony Maria wants you on. You're coming back on. There you go.
That's it, baby.
Oh. Sorry, Ahmed. Take it away, bro.
You guys are great.
No, that was it. Unless anybody has any closing statements, let's leave him wanting more. And Jed, honor, pleasure, and thank you so much for making time. Eric Mills in the house. Adrian Alvarado out of New York. This is Ahmed signing off from Venice Beach, California. Follow us on Instagram at Ahmed Comedy, at emills199.
399, baby. Hollywood Teamster.
399. Okay. Adrian, you want to plug yours?
I'm at real Adrian, at real_ Alvarado, Adrian Alvarado on Instagram. Real Adrian.
And you can type it in the comments so people can get it too. And Jed, do you have anything you want to throw out, plug? Instagram? Anything?
Thank you so much. Be safe. Love yourselves. Love everybody. Remember that this is life. Life is about people. And be kind, considerate, and generous.
Thanks, Pop. Thanks for being with us.
Amen.
Montana, I love you, brother.
May the stars and the universe bless you.
May they? Fucking A.
Amen.
Fuck yeah,
to
amen.
that. All right. Well, this is episode 4, Hollywood Tales. See you next time.
Boom.
Boom!
All right, cut me off there.
Are we out? Tell me we're out, right?
We're
I
out,
think
baby.
we're out.
Peace.
After
He's
the
out,
show is over,
everybody.
can you guys stay for a while?